take on, take over, take into, take apart, take out.
Phrasal verbs. There are so many of them. They're easy to form, but difficult to use because of their specific meanings. Hence, they're a common stumbling block for English learners. By the end of this video, I hope you'll be saying, I was taken aback by my grandfather who took away my phone and told me I needed to take after him and be more responsible. So, either I take to doing my chores or he's gonna take my phone apart. So today, let's look at phrasal verbs with the verb take. It's a common problem for English learners that phrasal verbs are overwhelming and dizzying. So let's start with some basic tips for studying phrasal verbs, and I'll remind you of these tips again and again in other videos about phrasal verbs because they are very important. Ready? 1. Keep a notebook for phrasal verbs. 2. Write them down. 3. Jot down their meaning and an example sentence. 4. Mark a few that you want to make use of that week. 5. Look at this notebook just 5 minutes every day and try to memorize the ones that you marked. 6. Use the phrasal verbs as often as possible in writing and in speaking. So let's look at some examples of common phrasal verbs, and then later we'll look at some less common, more difficult ones. Disclaimer: phrasal verbs have many meanings, and some phrasal verbs are more common in one region or in one country than in another. So here are some common universal phrasal verbs that I think intermediate learners should know. Okay, we've got 11 common phrasal verbs to get through, so let's get started. 1. Take something out, like to remove something from a room or a building. For example, we take out the trash on Sundays. This chair doesn't look nice in this room, so let's take it out. 2. Take somebody out. This means to take someone to a restaurant or to the cinema, like on a romantic date. For example, he took me out to McDonald's. It was the worst date I've ever been on. 3. Take in. Take in just means to understand. For example, I was so tired this morning, I couldn't take in the lesson. I was lost. 4. Take away. Takeaway has 2 meanings that I'll talk about. One is to take food from a restaurant and eat it at home or somewhere else. For example, I ordered a sandwich and 2 hamburgers to take away. Another meaning is to take something from someone else, especially when it's punishment. Like my parents took away my computer because I got a bad grade in my math class. 5. Take off. 3 meanings here. 1 is to take off your clothes, like take off your shoes or take off your socks. Another meaning is to begin to fly. When you are in a plane and the plane is taxiing and then it starts to fly, that's when you take off. 3rd meaning is to leave. Like, sorry guys, I need to take off. It's late. 6th phrasal verb, take after. To take after just means to look similar to someone or to behave similarly to them. And we use this especially with taking after family, like taking after your mother or your father when you look similar to them or when you act similarly to them. 7, take back. To take back is to take something from someone after you let them borrow it. So, for example, I let my friend use my car, and this morning I went to his house and took it back, meaning I got the keys and now it's in my possession again. 8, take over. To take over means you take control of something. Like yesterday, one of my friends was cooking breakfast and he was burning the eggs, burning the toast, so I took over and finished making our breakfast. 9, take down. When you take something down, you remove it, especially from public places or places where people can see them. We use this when there's a video on the internet that maybe is offensive to people. We take it down, we remove it. Or maybe in your room you have a poster, your parents tell you, hey, you need to take that poster down, we don't like it. Number 10, take on. And take on here has two meanings. First one is to challenge someone or to challenge something. For example, he took on the neighborhood bully. He was tired of having to defend himself. Another meaning is to hire someone in a company. Like at my company, we took on 2 new employees. We might need to fire them. They're not good enough. Number 11, take up. Take up means to start a new hobby. Like, I was looking for something new to do. I decided to take up tennis. Got those? Well, here's some more phrasal verbs. These are less common than the others, but still worth knowing for most learners. I've got 6 phrasal verbs for you. First one, take aback. This phrasal verb is always used in the passive form. I was taken aback, usually in the past. It just means to be shocked or surprised. Like, I was taken aback by their decision to get married. 2, take upon. Take upon is always used in the structure take something upon oneself. So it means to take responsibility for doing something. For example, he took it upon himself to finish the project because his team was not doing any of the work. 3, take for. And this one's always used in the structure take somebody for something. And it means to mistakenly believe that somebody is a certain way. Usually we mean it when we think somebody is not so smart, but it's always used when they're wrong. It's a mistake. For example, he took me for a fool. He tried to charge me, $10 for a Coca-Cola. You must be taking me for a fool. It means that you mistakenly believe that I'm an idiot. 4, take apart. That means to disassemble something into smaller pieces. He took apart the table and he didn't know how to put it back together. 5, take through. Always used as take somebody through something. This means to explain something to someone. Like, let me take you through the steps in how to make a delicious pizza. And finally, number 6, to take to. This means to start doing something on a regular basis. Like, since he was diagnosed with stomach problems, he took to drinking tea instead of coffee. So let's look back at the phrase I said earlier. Does it make sense to you now? I sure hope so. All right, so what other phrasal verbs with take do you know? Leave a comment with your ideas and let me know of any phrasal verbs that you don't understand. Once again, thank you for watching, and please, if you haven't yet, subscribe to get regular videos with English lessons for you. If you have any suggestions for a video, any questions with grammar or vocabulary, let me know in the comments. I'm always eager to hear from viewers, so please let me know. Until next time.